This week on the Retirement Quick Tips podcast, I'm talking about the Micciche Family Money Principles. It's a framework I created a few years ago to help guide the financial decisions that our family makes. And it's been incredibly helpful as a reference tool to be like, okay, now what did I say I believed about this? And applying that to decisions that we make with how we spend money, our lifestyle, where we live, what kind of vacations we take, where we spend our money, how much we give, how we teach our children about money. And then as you go further in life into like estate planning, gifting, buying things for your children, both large and small, it really helps to inform the principles that you use to make those decisions. So today I want to share with you some tips to help you create your own set of family money principles. Now, the first step is really to identify the major categories. Mine were lifestyle, which encompasses both sides of the expense or like earning statement. So you have your income and then you have your expenses. What are you doing for work? How does your work and the time you spend on work influencing your decisions about money? What are the lifestyle decisions? How are you spending your money? Where does giving fall in your monthly expenses? Is it non-existent or is it somewhere in the bottom half or in the middle or near the top? So lifestyle and maintaining a strategic lifestyle is the goal here, I think, for everybody. There's not a lot of times where I'm like, this is a universal goal. But maintaining a strategic lifestyle and living well within one's means has all kinds of benefits, both in the short term and in the long term. So there's so many things that are interconnected with lifestyle and the decisions that you make about spending, saving, how you're going to live, those types of things. That's the very first category. And it's the most important one because everything else kind of flows from that. You know, you can't give in a meaningful way if you're not living a strategic lifestyle and you're spending everything that's coming in the door. So that's the one category that I recommend that everybody has without a doubt. And you can even break that into other categories as well, because it is a pretty broad category. I also had giving, teaching. Now, if you have all adult children who are independent and not relying on you for any financial resources, advice, or anything, then that may not even be a category. But for all of you listening, wealth and estate transfer. Chances are you're going to have something to pass along to your children. And how do you want the decisions you make during your lifetime and at the point of inheritance and estate transfer? What informs those decisions? What set of beliefs and values informs those types of decisions that you make? Because otherwise you're just like, without these principles, set of beliefs and values to guide your decisions, you're not going to make very cohesive decisions and you're going to feel like you're inconsistent, especially if you have multiple kids. You know, what if you have a child who relies more on you for financial support than other children? How are you going to make decisions about that? How are you going to make decisions about where you live? Should you buy another house? Should you buy a second home? Should you have multiple cars that you don't need? I'm not necessarily saying that these are all bad things, but they are important decisions to make. And the more means you have, the financial means you have, and I know most of you listening do have the financial means to spend more, to live a more materialistic, luxurious lifestyle, we have to be much more careful about these decisions and make them strategically, rather than just being a rudderless ship and blowing in the breeze and making whatever decision feels right on that particular day. No. We want to avoid that. And having a set of principles is very important for that. I think at a minimum, the categories should be lifestyle, giving, and wealth or estate transfer. So 3 legs of a stool. You could add to this, you could modify it depending on your values, what's important to you. But I think these 3 categories create a nice framework for then making decisions. Now, if you want to check out the book, if you want to go a little bit deeper, there's lots of resources, but the Randy Alcorn book, Alcorn, Money, Possessions, and Eternity, especially if you are a Christian. If you're not a Christian, these categories are very important as well. You want guidelines, principles, values that drive your decisions about lifestyle, giving, and estate transfer. So I hope this week has inspired you to think through what are your own values, principles, beliefs when it comes to money, and how do you want to create a framework that can help you make decisions both now and in the future, possibly many years down the future when you're thinking about estate and wealth transfer as well. That's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Ashley Micciche, and this is the Retirement Quick Tips Podcast.